back in the early 2000s, I was bartending. I still had my modeling agency. I wanted to share this story with you. So I was at my bar. I had just started work, so it was like earlier in the night, not a lot of people there yet. So you could still like have like conversations and be able to hear each other. So it was earlier in the night, and this person had just come in, sat at my bar, didn't order any alcohol, just had a glass of water. And he started sharing his story with me, all about the Lord and how the Lord leads him here and the Lord leads him there. Like he would just get a plane ticket and the Lord's like, all right, I need you in this country. And then the next month it would be somewhere else. And I can remember that night, not necessarily that it had to be to go to this country and that country, but just the words that he spoke when he said that he was led by the Lord. And I just remember that night, I was like, that's what I want. Like, it was so clear. Like, like when somebody's talking and you just know like what they're saying is for you. It's just loud and clear and it just speaks to you and you like gravitate to it. And that's what it was like. And so I don't remember like, too much like right after that. I just remember like it just started this whole phase with me. I shouldn't say phase because it's still going on. But this whole thing like where I was like, I just want to know everything about the Lord. Like I want to learn more about him. I want to learn how to be led by him. So I think at the time I jumped into like 3 Bible studies a week. I was so I was so interested in the Lord. When he had said that to me, and I never knew who he was. I don't believe he knew who I was. When he came in, I really believe for that specific purpose because he only came in, tell me that story, had a glass of water, and left. Just like he was led to all different parts of the world, I believe that God led him into my bar that night to speak to me, to take me on this next journey, because not too long after that, I let my boss know that I was going to be leaving. Of course, I gave my week's notice. And then I slowly shifted things with my modeling agency. And then it had to be maybe within 8 months, I let it go. I shifted some things around. I actually my business skyrocketed that year. Like I was like starting to like listen to the Lord and hear his direction. So he was like, okay, do this and do that. And I was like, oh my goodness, like my business was so successful. But then not too long after that, the Lord just let me know. He says, it's time. And I remember it was really hard for me. It was so hard because that's all I knew since I was 16. But he was like, okay, it's time. And then he led me to go back to school and get my master's for counseling. But through that, I just kept like learning his voice. Like I was so interested. I wanted to know more about him. And to this day, it's my number one thing. Like I just love spending time with him, love being led by him. Like I have fun with him. Like, he's like, do this, do that. Like, it doesn't have to be some grand thing. Like it could be something simple. Like, go something at the store or, let's take a walk to the beach. And, it happens to be like there's 8 swans on the beach that I wouldn't have seen if I didn't listen to him. So this whole video, the whole point of this is that I don't know how that person wound up in my bar. I just know that if he's telling me these stories of being led, I believe that the Lord led him there that night. And honestly, I don't know if this ever gets to him, but I just want him to know, like, I am so thankful because that changed the course of my life, like, completely. So, yeah, you never know when the Lord leads you, where and who. So I just wanted to encourage you. All right, I'll talk to you soon. See you.